disabilities and limitations and all that. That was a couple months ago. Um, I think in November, I think, end of November, beginning of January, I can't remember. So I'm still waiting to hear back from Norton Behavioral Health, which I looked it up, and I don't know if y'all know, but ADHD and bipolar are two big disorders that they treat, or well, that's treated worldwide. Really, like it's very common. So most places that administer, well, first of all, if it says they treat it, then they also administer medication. But I just double checked, and because I got the referral, but I didn't get all the information, so I went on their website, and they've got some female doctors, which is good, and it doesn't really matter too much about like an LPRN or a MD or a board certified PhD or whatever. I mean, unless like you're one of those people that's got to have like the top of the line, top tier, most knowledgeable, quote unquote, which that's not necessarily true, but it can be, but not always. LPRN or whatever, or an MD could be just as qualified as and knowledgeable as a PhD board certified person. But the board just means that there's like a board of directors that they report to, I believe, and there's more learning and more barriers to get through to pass the bar, so to speak, which is just like a lawyer bar. But they called me when I was asleep, of course. It happens all the time. I didn't hear my phone, or my phone was... I usually turn my phone on silent when I sleep, because if I'm sleeping, I need to rest. But I've called them back a bunch of times. I couldn't get them, and I tried to call them today. Well, I didn't realize, but 2 or 3 days ago, our governor, Andy Beshear, declared a state of emergency. So I just came from Kroger to get some stuff. Pretty much got everything. I was going to get milk last, but ironically, the regular milk was plentiful, but the milk that I get, the red box of the lactose-free milk, the Kroger brand, is like all out. So I might stop by a different... Yeah, there's a Kroger actually on the way to my doctor appointment tomorrow at 10:30 that has the Kroger there, so I'll stop over there and see if they have it. But I'm totally out of money now. I spent the last $5 I had on just so I can get, well, first of all, I get home, and then second of all, I get to my appointment tomorrow, and then from there, I'm really not going to be able to drive at all until I get more money. So I'm kind of going to be stopping at that Kroger. I might get a couple things off Amazon, like some energy drinks or other food stuff. But outside of that, I'm not going to be able to go anywhere. So I checked my unemployment claim, but it takes a little bit of time for it to get like reviewed and approved and all that. It'll go through. It's just not there yet. But basically, you just make your claims each week, and then it'll, whatever's due to pay, they'll pay it together from the combined number of weeks. But this is the same situation I've always been in. It's like the neighborhood place, I'll pay my utilities and rent and help with food and food stamps off and on, and then unemployment off and on, and then short-term and long-term disability off and on, and then GoFundMe's helped, and my churches pay like 2 years of my rent, and I could ask them to pay again, but I really don't want to do that type of thing. Because I feel like they've already done enough, and there's other people that need help, so I don't want to be all about myself. I gotta get these 2 bags out of the car here. I had to use this thing I got when I used to work at Sam's Club. It's like $8 at Sam's Club to scrape the ice, and then it's not break nothing in the car. And then it's got a wiper thing and whatever that thing is. So I highly recommend getting that from Sam's Club if you can. I'm gonna have to set y'all down a second here. To get these 2 bags. I didn't realize, but when I'm racking my gun to check the round and the chamber, well, the magazine and the chamber, when I check it to make sure it's never chambered or nothing, but I just check it anyway. Obviously, that's what you're supposed to do. You always treat a firearm like it's loaded, and you never point it at nothing you don't intend to shoot. But and if you don't know that basic thing, you should never be handling a gun. It's kind of sad that there's 10-year-olds that are more knowledgeable of how to handle a firearm than adults. But anyway, let me sit y'all down here. Hopefully you can hear me. This one is oh gosh. Oh. It's not that. I'm gonna go 3 stairs. I was trying not to exhaust myself because I just slept, but I had to get this stuff because I don't have any food in there. The food stamp card renewed. It's just I didn't. I stopped my program before, but I didn't want to do a bunch of shopping. So I didn't have a cart, and I didn't have these bags. Joker was saying I was at my house yesterday. Had to go get his bag, but oh shit. Oh Lord. Whew. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Whew. Joker. See? No, son. Get down. Get down, Eno. Come on. I know it's daddy. Come on. Get down, baby. Joker. Come on, son. Get down. You gotta get down, buddy. Come on. Be a baby. Good boy. Don't you run out this door. I'll get them. I'll bust them britches. Hey, Harley. Hey, guys. Why don't you investigate the bag? How about that? Get back, buddy. Joker, don't. No. Get from over here. You think you're slick. Get down. I know what you're doing. I know your little system, your tricks. It's okay, Harley. It's not gonna get you, baby. Joker. No, son. You're not going out. Whew. It's ironic. I let him look out the window on the second step, and he started to get a little overstimulated. What? Can I get through the thing, please, and get these warm clothes off? Because it's warm in here already and cold out there. Oh, man. Huh. Wow. In memory of Brittany Murphy. Yeah, rest in peace to my girl, man. She was a real one. Damn. Fuck you, Hollywood. Y'all did my girl dirty, man. It's funny because, I'll show you. Anybody that's from this time period knows I'm not lying. But I almost was on Grey's Anatomy. And I know this for a fact because the guy that they picked looks exactly like me. Like, we could be brothers. Oh, hold on. Just, out of breath. But, whew. Thank you, Lord, for food and shelter and a vehicle. And helping me get to this point. I've been fighting and suffering indescribably with this brain disease for eight years. And I just pray that I get this disability. So, I'm going to make some other short videos here in a second too. So Mr. Jesse Williams from Grey's Anatomy. Like, we look dead alike. Like, if I said, hey, this is a picture of me in a doctor suit, you'd be like, oh, and then you have to be like, wait a minute. That's not you, is it? The resemblance. Harley Quinn, get out of that plastic before I bust your little britches, little girl. Hey, no ma'am. Mm-mm. No. You know better. Don't do it. Don't do it. Little manipulator. Little Miss Manipulator. But you real pretty girl. And you my girl. Yeah, you baby girl. But yeah, back in the day on Craigslist, they used to have where you can basically do anything. Does he have a leg tattoo? I didn't even know he had tattoos. That's hilarious. I've literally never seen many pictures of him outside of Grey's. But Grey's is my favorite show. Game of Thrones would have been tied, but we already know how that went. But, oh, is that him and the girl from... Oh, never mind. I thought that was his, the black chick that the other doctor on Grey's, that's his wife. Yeah, but back in the day on Grey's, back in the day, like I'm on the show, back in the day on, I'm having phantom, or vicarious memories or something. Anyway, back in the day on Craigslist, you used to be able to, like, it was like the Wild Wild West, and you could literally basically do anything. And, they were, like, casting for a show called Grey's Anatomy, looking for, a light skin tone gentleman that is, I can't remember the descriptions they used. They might have been like that's soft looking or not feminine, but just like, and not handsome, I don't think, but I can't remember, but just like something that like a person that other people that are like really finicky about other types of actors for whatever reason would be like universally appealing, I guess you would say. And like we even have the same facial hair. Look at his. Look at that, and then you separate right there, but it connects, and then you got to cut it. Look at that, and then look at this, and now look at me. Am I lying, y'all? Am I lying? Am I really? Or am I telling the truth? Am I telling y'all some stuff you ain't never heard? Lord, I'm sorry for cussing while I had your shirt on. I forgot. But you see what I mean? Connects, but you got to cut it. That right there. That. So yeah, it's real out here, man. But here's the thing: the reason I got upset about Brittany because she's one of them people that got nothing to do with acting. She just was a genuinely good person, and I especially pray for people in Hollywood because they're in some dark shit. And even if like you don't actually do anything yourself per se, just being around that type of environment that's not of the Lord is very dangerous and toxic, and you're dancing with the devil whether you realize it or not. And a lot of them don't realize it till it's too late, or they get murked or some shit. Lord, I'm sorry. I went yesterday. I went without cussing all day, so I'm pleased with that. But I'm kind of it's okay, Harley. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be loud. It's okay. Oh, see, she still ran. Um, can y'all believe this? I almost said the CUNT word. I know that's like one of the worst, but that doctor that basically was the catalyst for me leaving U of L Health. Can y'all believe she had the fucking? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Lord. Lord. You know what? You know I love you. You know I'm grateful. You know I'm blessed. You know I'm a child of you. But let me. I don't want to be doing this because I'm talking about a lot of personal, deep stuff, and this is my whole life. Not just it ain't like about these last 8 years. Just my whole life. I've been suffering like this with serious illnesses. So you could probably understand my frustration if you had, you know, illnesses or addictions, or your mom was an alcoholic, your dad was a drug addict or an abuser or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about stuff that's painful, it's kind of hard to control your mouth. But I am trying, but I ain't perfect. But this fucking lady had the nerve to say, "Do you have a firearm in the home?" The only reason that would even be relevant is if you had suicidal ideation or like thoughts of harm with the firearm, right? And by the way, I never even mentioned a firearm at all. I never mentioned shooting anything or Call of Duty or nothing remotely anything to do with a gun at all. That's fucking insulting. So if you're a doctor, you need to watch what the fuck you're saying because that could fuck around and make somebody really shoot themselves. Because it's like, well, what are you trying to say? I should just shoot myself? Because when we're going in there, we're not even in the right state of mind because we're up here having to remember everything that we're gonna have to relive and re-talk about, and you're triggering shit and you don't even realize it, but you think you're so fucking smart because you got a fucking piece of paper. Like paper don't mean shit, man. It doesn't. If I can work the same job as you, if I can work at Costco the same as you and you got a GED and I do the job just as good or better than you, that paper don't mean shit. It just makes you look good. It's just what society wants. But everything ain't for everybody and school ain't for everybody and everybody ain't got to go to school to be successful. There's plenty of people that have been very successful without school. So get up off that shit, man. Like for real. And I hated my mom for making me go to school, but because I told her I didn't need to. But I've let that go. You know, I've forgiven her for that. But I knew that I didn't need to be in academics to be successful, and I also knew that because of my learning disability, it was just kind of like a mute point because the stuff that I tried to do my best on, it just was never going to happen. No matter how much tutoring or whatever, it just ain't in my DNA. And a lot of you parents are so damn delusional that you're forcing your kids to play sports they don't want to play, do music they don't want to do, get degrees or diplomas or whatever the hell they don't want to do, and then they get older and they fucking hate you, and then they confront you about it or whatever, and then you're like, oh, but you ain't. Y'all don't listen, man. People don't listen. A child is their own person. They're their own individual. They can do what they want to do. Now, when you're talking about their salvation and stuff like that, then yeah, you want to put the fear of God in them and you want to guide them in the right direction. But as long as they're not doing nothing illegal or hurting nobody or whatever the case may be like that, uh, let them be who they are and they're going to be happier for them. You're going to have a real relationship. That's like telling a kid, they want to get Mario But you tell them, no, let's get Kirby. And you know, the one time that they played Kirby, they couldn't stand it. They didn't want nothing to do with it. But because you love Kirby and that was your childhood, you're trying to project like a little trophy image of yourself. So in a lot of ways, you just had a kid to have a trophy to show off and be like, yeah, my kid looks Kirby like me, and my kid looks just like me, and my kid is this and that, and all this stuff. And who wants to play a game that they don't like, that like on Christmas, right? So why the fuck would you, if your kid's begging and pleading and showing you every kind of hint and everything, because you know how kids are, they go by the games and they kind of stand by and they look at something and they point at it, but they don't say nothing, and they do it again and again, and it's like, oh, my friend has that game. We played it. It was so cool. It would be so cool to have that game, and then you ruin their fucking Christmas and a once in a lifetime memory each year for the rest of their lives, and that's all they think about every Christmas. So even though they're an adult and they're a G and this and that, they still got that hurt in the heart. And yeah, it might seem like a little thing because it's just a game, but it's not just a game to them. It's about the memory. I'm letting y'all have it. I don't give a fuck. I'm on some gangster shit, man, because not the, you know, the Lord's returning, and now's not the time to be fake and phony and be living in denial, because nobody can deny the Lord. You know, all knees will bow and all tongues will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And Lord, forgive me for my language, but it's just hard because this is the way. This is like Eminem said. This is the way I am. And it's hard to just turn off who you are like a robot, because we're not a robot. We are who we are, and our experiences do shape who we are. But it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish with the Lord and in the Lord, and um, putting all our faith in the Lord. So the main point is that the Lord guided me away from that direction of getting into Hollyweird, because Lord knows where would. Now here's the thing, I would have never. Now see, first of all, you know, Will Smith is SUS to me, because somebody interviewed him and he's like, "Do you believe in God?" and this and that. And I don't know if the guy interviewing him was Christian or not or whatever, but that is relevant to a point. But oh, let me message my friend. He messaged me 3 hours ago. I was asleep. I was sick and asleep doing some YouTube vids and TikTok, but I'm hopping on now. I'll do it now if it's still up. I've got a lot of friends on like World of Warcraft and Discord. I'm making a lot of friends and networking and doing all types of stuff. So um, I'm basically always in communication with people and stuff like that. So um, so yeah. But you know, the truth hurts, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I've been facing every hard truth. It's probably why I've been like crying for like 2 years straight. I'm not even joking, almost on a daily basis. And it's like the Lord's breaking them shackles and chains off me of that hurt. But in order to hurt, you got to grieve and mourn, and you got to let it hurt. You got to feel your emotion, because when you don't feel your emotion, you start trying to numb it with other things. And everybody in the world knows that. And I've been through the exact same stuff as Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Shout out to Jake the Snake. Shout out to Scott Hall. Shout out to DDP. Rest in peace to Scott Hall. And I got a lot of love for Scott and Jake, because they were open about their struggles, and that helped so many people. Because there's a lot of y'all that are alcoholics, but you'll never go to Alcohol Anonymous because of just how you are, or you're just too ashamed or guilty or whatever. And they were talking about that at my Spanish church I went to at noon. I went to the 9 o'clock service yesterday, and then I went to the almost right to the 12 o'clock service after leaving Walgreens to get my medicine um, at noon. And they were talking about guilt and shame and all that. And even though I was in the house of the Lord, I was feeling that too. And so Jake had to deal, and I can say this because he's already, Harley, get off of that. Girl, do you want to get in trouble? Is that what you want to have happen? Huh? What did I just tell you about that? Didn't I say get up off that plastic? What are you doing, little girl? What do you think this is, mommy? Huh? What do you think this is in this house? Get out of that. That ain't got nothing to do with you. But he made an interview recently, and I didn't. It took him a long time to do it, but he said, well, a long time ago, he said that in an interview with Joe Rogan, he said that obviously, just like me, he was that bad off to where he was like, he was doing all these things, and every time he would wake up, he would be just completely hating everything in the worst kind of ways because he just wished that he would wake up dead, or he would be dead, and every time he woke up, he wished he was dead. And I've been like that since like 3 or 4. And even though a kid doesn't know what suicide is, you can have the feeling, and that never leaves until it does or doesn't. And it ain't always like hanging yourself or shooting yourself or whatever. It could be like you're doing dangerous things wanting to die, like suicide by cop, or doing dangerous things like skydiving or climbing on mountains, whatever, with no gear, no climbing gear, whatever, just like the little cliffhanger things. But anyway, Jake had to deal with his dad was a pedophile and raping and having incest or mutual incest with his sisters. I don't know. I don't see how it could be mutual, but if that's what you want to say, then I don't know what the situation was. But the bottom line is it was the worst of the worst. And um, his dad never wanted him to be a wrestler because his dad was a wrestler, and he told him that he was never going to be anything and that he was a loser and all these types of things. And so he basically became a wrestler only for the fact that he wanted to prove his dad wrong. And he did, and he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever. And uh, but if he was never open about what he was going through, he wouldn't have been able to help nobody, right? So if you're a selfish person by not sharing what you've been through, then it ain't your whole life of suffering and all that stuff ain't no good because you done wasted it. You ain't said shit to nobody, so how is somebody supposed to know something if you don't tell them? It could be the simplest little thing you say to somebody, and it's like, oh, that really helped me. So now I'm in rehab, or I'm in AA, or I'm in church, or uh, I do walks, or I help the homeless, or I help kids, or I help veterans, or whatever. But I've been through all the same thing as Jake and Richard and everybody else. And every red flag that a serial killer has, even like all of them, if you take a trait from each of them, I had every single trait growing up because that's a severe level of extreme abuse, uh, systematically, day after day, year after year, month after month, week after week. And a lot of times it's more than one thing in a day too. That's what people don't realize. You think it's like, oh, it was just like somebody died and it was like a hard year. Like, no, everything is hard. And where the heck is this guy at? Did I pick that up already? Am I smoking crack? What's today? Oh, is today Monday? I thought today was Tuesday. What day is it? Oh, it's only Monday. I did not know that. Okay, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Um, yeah, it's his order still in here. But um, so when things seem like they're impossible and like you're never gonna get out of it, you just gotta walk by faith, by sight, or walk by faith, not sight. And Daniel 18:1, always pray and never give up. And then Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that's the only reason why I'm at where I'm at is because of that. Um, and when you start reading the Bible, that's why it's important to be in Scripture, in addition to worship in church and everything like that. But you start finding passages that directly correlate with your life, and then stuff you start having those revelations. So a revelation isn't always like, oh, Noah and the ark and the flood. It could be something as simple as, um, you know, like Daniel 18:1. I always prayed and never gave up, and since I did that, I know that I was getting closer to God, and He got me through, right? But if you don't say anything, can't nobody hear you, right? But anyway, um, just for the last 8 years, this is what I've been working towards, and I don't have my rent is $870, and I have like no money at all. I put my last $5 in the gas tank, like I said. I do have food, but uh, I am very stressed out about it all, of course. But I do know at the same time the Lord's going to make a way, and um, even with the unemployment's going to come a little bit later, so it's kind of like obviously I need to get my rent paid sooner rather than later. But my landlady is aware of the situation. Plus, we have a state of emergency, so it's like um, this is literally the worst time to be homeless because people are freezing to death. Animals, people, all that kind of thing. But my whole point is I wanted to say that um, as long as I get approved for the disability, which I should, and this is contingent on getting the back pay. Well, just contingent on getting approved. I don't know how long the back pay will take, but once I have the back pay, once I'm approved and I have the back pay, um, because I'm almost at a point where I can not have to rely so much on the GoFundMe donations and just use those only to save up for the surgery. But because I almost have affiliate on Twitch, I'm at like 1.8 out of 3. And I need to be at 3 out of 3. So once I have that, I can get the donations on there, just from like random people. It's not like a set thing or nothing. It's just when people decide to donate. But and then I'm doing shorts on Facebook, and I have monetization on there unlocked. I don't know about the other places, but so I'm doing that. I have about 260 WoW videos to go through, and then I have a lot of like 8,000 cat videos, and then I got 10,000 cat pictures, I think. And then I got my testimonies I'm doing, so it's a lot of stuff, so I can only do so much in a day. Um, but with that being said, I was going to say, once I have the back pay, whoever uh, helps get my stuff situated, like with my rent and other bills this month, once I have the back pay, I can pay you back. Like I could send probably do like Facebook Pay, or I don't know, something that's not going to be an issue because I know some stuff is janky. Um, because it's going to be a decent amount of money I get back, so paying you back won't be too hard. But I know it's like, you know, my bills aren't that much, so it's like it's not going to be like it's going to be I could pay you all back at the same time. Like we could hop on Discord and get on the webcam and the voice, and then just confirm all the payment stuff over the phone and all that. Um, but like I'm almost at the finish line. I just need a little bit more help. Um, you know, and it's also of course for my babies. Keep them fed and healthy and happy and a roof over their head. Harley, you want to say hi? You want to be pretty girl? You my girl? Oh, you trying to do something else? Where you at, Joker? Where you at, Eno? What you doing back there, my mouth? Can I see a baby? What's up, Eno? Eno, baby. Hi, baby. Yeah, I know you's gonna come see Daddy. Um, But share or donate my GoFundMe if you can. I'll put the link in there. I'll put a link to the Discord. Other videos, if I said I was going to put a link and I didn't, I'm sorry. I'm really bad about that, but I'll start doing better. My nerve is hurting way too bad now. I'm talking too much, so I'm going to shut up. I'm going to hop on. I'll put my Twitch on there too. I'm about to hop on Twitch and stuff and work towards getting the donations unlocked. And I appreciate y'all's support, and I love y'all. God bless you.